Okay, deep divers. Ready for a new deep dive?
Always.
This time, we're going underground. Way underground.
Ooh, sounds intriguing.
We're tackling the legend of the Hopi ant people.
Oh, I've heard about them. Fascinating stuff.
Right, it's this blend of ancient myths and, well, maybe even a touch of what if that's just irresistible.
Yeah, the idea that there could be these hidden civilizations right under our feet, it really captures the imagination.
Exactly. And our guide for this deep dive is a really interesting episode from Podcast to Danny.
Great choice. It's a great resource for exploring the beliefs of ancient cultures.
Yeah, and the fact that this particular legend is rooted in the Grand Canyon, talk about a setting.
Oh, absolutely. The Grand Canyon has this mystique, right?
Yeah.
Generations of stories woven into those canyon walls. Yeah.
For the Hopi people, it's not just a landmark, it's sacred ground. Their history is intertwined with that place.
It's like their stories are part of the landscape itself.
And one of the most compelling stories they tell, the ant people. These beings who, according to legend, saved them not once, but twice from world-ending events.
That's right. The Hopi talk about 2 times when the world, as they knew it, was destroyed, and each time the ant people were there to help them survive.
Imagine the world on the brink of collapse, and these, well, I guess you could call them ant people, emerge, offering refuge in their underground cities.
And these aren't just any underground shelters. The stories describe them as sophisticated cities, technologically advanced, almost unimaginable.
It's like something straight out of a science fiction novel. So what exactly do these ant people look like? Are we talking giant, menacing insects here?
Actually, no. The podcast describes them as humanoid, slender even, but incredibly strong.
Strong, huh? So they're not just hiding underground, they're built for it.
Exactly. That always struck me as an interesting detail. They're not these hulking figures, but they're masters of their environment. Almost like they've adapted perfectly to life beneath the surface.
It really makes you wonder what they might have accomplished down there, right? What their cities might have looked like, the technology they possessed. It's mind-boggling.
Absolutely. And it really makes you wonder about those unexplored caverns and tunnels beneath the Grand Canyon. Could there be something to these legends? Could those be remnants of the ant people's cities?
Now, that's a question we're going to dig into. But first, let's take a quick break. All right, we've got these advanced beings, potentially more technologically savvy than we might imagine, living in secret cities beneath the earth. It's like something straight out of a Jules Verne novel. But here's where things get really interesting. The podcast mentions explorers and treasure hunters claiming to have stumbled upon mysterious entrances in and around the Grand Canyon.
Yes, the Grand Canyon itself becomes a central character in this mystery. Its sheer vastness and unexplored areas lend themselves to these kinds of speculations. It's a hotbed for stories of lost mines, hidden treasures, and even entire civilizations swallowed by the earth.
Right. And while we're talking about whispers and rumors, not confirmed discoveries, it's still tantalizing. I mean, could there be a connection? Could some of these unexplored caverns actually be the remnants of those legendary cities?
It's a thrilling thought, isn't it? And it speaks to a deep-seated desire in us to uncover the secrets hidden beneath the surface, both literally and figuratively. This fascination with lost worlds and forgotten civilizations is a recurring theme across cultures and throughout history.
It's true. There's something about the unknown that just pulls us in. But have there been any serious attempts to verify these claims? Any documented expeditions into the Grand Canyon specifically looking for evidence of the ant people?
While the legend has sparked plenty of amateur explorations and treasure-seeking expeditions, I haven't come across any credible scientific studies specifically focused on proving or disproving the existence of the ant people.
That makes sense. It's probably tough to secure funding for an expedition based on a legend, no matter how intriguing. But let's say, hypothetically speaking, that someone did find something. What kind of evidence would support the ant people's existence? What would we be looking for?
That's a great question. From an archaeological standpoint, any remnants of underground structures, unusual artifacts, or even artistic depictions of beings matching the ant people's description would be significant. Of course, separating genuine evidence from hoaxes and wishful thinking would be paramount.
So, like finding tools too advanced for the time period or materials not naturally found in the canyon.
Exactly. And then there's the anthropological angle. The Hopi people have a rich oral tradition. Studying their stories, songs, and ceremonies related to the ant people could provide valuable cultural and historical insights, even if we never unearth any physical proof.
So, even if we never find a hidden city or a set of blueprints for their advanced tech, their story still has something to teach us.
Absolutely. These kinds of legends, whether rooted in fact or fiction, often reflect a culture's values, fears, and hopes. The ant people, with their focus on community, resilience, and living in harmony with nature, might offer valuable lessons, even in the absence of concrete evidence.
It's a good reminder that sometimes the most valuable discoveries aren't about unearthing physical artifacts, but about understanding ourselves and our place in the world a little better. So we've gone deep on this one, haven't we?
We really have. The ant people, the Grand Canyon, it's a potent mix.
It really is. And even if these underground cities, these advanced beings, they're purely mythological.
Right.
Even then, there's something so compelling about this story.
I agree. I think it speaks to that very human need to believe in something bigger than ourselves. The possibility that there are these hidden worlds, lost knowledge, maybe even hope, waiting to be rediscovered.
It's like the ant people represent this possibility of both destruction and renewal.
It's that cycle of life, isn't it? Something the Hopi people understand deeply.
And even if we never find a single artifact, a single carving that definitively proves they existed,
Yeah.
this legend, passed down through generations of Hopi storytellers, that itself is a kind of artifact, don't you think?
Absolutely. It's a testament to the power of oral tradition, to the way cultures keep their history and beliefs alive through storytelling.
And in this case, the story might be telling us something even more profound than just recounting historical events.
Right. It's like we were saying before about the ant people offering refuge, sharing their knowledge, ensuring survival.
Exactly. It's a reminder of the importance of community, of collaboration, of respecting wisdom.
And of the possibility that even in the face of overwhelming challenges, there's always hope. Hope for resilience, for renewal, for finding a way forward together.
That's a powerful message, and one that feels incredibly relevant today, don't you think?
More than ever, I'd say.
Well, deep divers, we've reached the end of our deep dive. But as always, the exploration doesn't stop here. We encourage you to learn more about the Hopi people, their culture, their stories. Maybe even plan a visit to the Grand Canyon someday and feel that sense of wonder for yourselves.
And who knows, you might just stumble upon a clue, a whisper of something ancient and extraordinary. Keep your minds open and keep exploring.
Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey. Until next time, keep diving deep.